Welcome to the third episode of Olevels Biology. I'm Larry, and today we'll be covering on Chapter 3, Chemicals of Life. This is based on the latest science syllabus. This is a general view on this bright chapter, and for more information about me and the services I provide, please visit www.larrylou.com. I hope this will be helpful to you. Please sit back and enjoy the video. Thank you. Living things need to ingest food in order for survival and reproduction. And this chapter introduces us on the chemicals of life which are present in the food we eat: carbohydrate, fats, and protein. Carbohydrates are organic compounds made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Similar to carbohydrates, fats are also organic compounds made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. However, they have a less oxygen in proportion to hydrogen. Proteins are complex organic compounds made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. In general, these are the three basic stuff that the body can obtain from the food we eat. Carbohydrates are divided into three kinds: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Monosaccharide contains only one saccharide molecules and are mainly divided into glucose, which are present in plant leaves, animals in small quantities; galactose, which are found in vegetable, fruits, and honey; and lastly, fructose, which are present in milk, vegetable, and fruits. In order to enhance your memory, you can use the mnemonics as shown: good girlfriend. Think of a good girlfriend who will feed you the monosaccharides, glucose, galactose, and fructose. The first letter of the mnemonics corresponds to the first letter of the monosaccharides. Disaccharides contain two saccharide molecules, and some examples are lactose, found in mammalian milk; sucrose, found in sugarcane and carrots; and maltose, found in malt and hydrolysis of starch and glycogen. The mnemonics used here is long service medal. Polysaccharides are complex carbohydrates, and some examples are starch, which are found in plants only; glycogen, found in animals only; cellulose, which are found in plant cell wall and form the fibers in mammalian diet. You can use the mnemonics such as silent good cat here. The differences between the three types of carbohydrate is that the more the saccharide molecules, the time taken to break it down is longer. So polysaccharides takes the longest time to break down than disaccharides and monosaccharide. And this is why those energy drinks like Gatorade contains glucose, a monosaccharide which is easily broken down to provide energy to the body within a very short period of time. Next, in order to test for the presence of reducing sugar and starch, we can use Benedict test and iodine test respectively. Benedict solution is a blue-colored solution containing copper 2 sulfate. Step 1. Benedict solution is added to a glucose solution and mixed well. It is then set in boiling water for 5 minutes. If reducing sugar are present, there will be formation of brick red precipitate, and this colorimetric change is visible by naked eye observation. The iodine test is used to test for the presence of starch. Iodine solution is added to boiled noodles, which are positive for starch, and the solution will change from orange-brown to blue-black color. A simple eye observation will confirm this colorimetric change. Fats. To me, seeing this picture reminds me of fats. Fats are made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and they are insoluble in water in such a way that even if you put oil and water together, oil will essentially float on top of the water as its density is lower. We can obtain fats from body and from our diet. In fact, for the human female species, the breasts are actually a bountiful storage of fats. In this diagram of a fat molecule, we can see that the red part indicates the glycerol backbone, and these are the three chains of fatty acid molecules. And fats release twice the amount of energy when burnt as compared to a similar mass of carbohydrate. We can divide three kinds of fats into three kinds of categories: saturated, polyunsaturated, and monosaturated. Saturated fat have a carbon-hydrogen bonds and have straight fatty acid chains. It remains solid at room temperature. It can be found in meat, fish, dairy products, and coconut oil and palm oil. Now, saturated fats are very different from the other two types of fat mentioned below, as they are linked to cardiovascular disease. And this is why when consuming fats, it is wise to choose fruit that have monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats instead of saturated fats. Polyunsaturated fats have more than one carbon-carbon bond in fatty acid unit, and the fatty acid chain is bent in more than one places. It remains liquid at room temperature and can be found in grain cereal products, fish, and seafood. Poly and monounsaturated fats have a single carbon-carbon bond and one bent fatty acid chain. It can be found in oils such as olive, canola, sesame, and peanut oil. If you have a choice, be sure to choose extra virgin olive oil, as the oleic acid in it have been shown to prevent a wide variety of diseases such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, and high blood pressure. In order to test for fats, we can use the emulsion test. We put 2 cm³ of ethanol into a test tube containing a single drop of olive oil. Note that the oil will dissolve in ethanol to form a clear solution. Step number 3. We add 2 cm³ of water to the mixture and mix well. The last step. If fats are present, there will be a cloudy white precipitation being formed as shown here. This indicates the presence of fats. So let's do a quick recap. In this chapter, we learn about carbohydrates, which are monosaccharides, glucose, galactose, and fructose, disaccharides, lactose, sucrose, and maltose, and polysaccharides, starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Note that it will be much easier to memorize using the mnemonics as shown. We also learn about Benedict tests, which are used to test for reducing sugars and turns a brick red precipitate if reducing sugar are present. Iodine test is used to test for starch, and the solution will turn a blue-black color if starch are present. Fats, which are divided into 3 kinds: saturated, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated fats. We can use the mnemonics Singapore Prime Minister to aid your memory recall. Lastly, the emulsion test is to test for fats. If fats are present, there will be a layer of white precipitate being formed. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Chapter 4, Enzymes. For more information about me and my services, please visit www.larrylou.com. See you and goodbye.